Hi, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and let's learn 100 irregular verbs with examples. I think it's very important to look at different examples. It's very good for progress. So let's do it. Okay, so really I prepared this list of most common irregular verbs especially for you. So welcome. Be, was, were, been. So you see the verb, then you see the second form, so we use it in past simple, and then you see the third form. So you'll see different examples with the second form and with the third form too. Okay, be, was, were, been. And I think that you have a question, so when do we use was and when do we use were? So we use was with I, he, she, it. Look, I was at home. He was at home. She was at home. It was at home. How do we call this tense? We call it past simple tense. Past simple tense. Right. So when do we use were? With we, you, they. We were at home. You were at home. They were at home. Next. It was interesting. The lesson was interesting. The lesson was interesting. So you see, the lesson means it, and we know that it was. So the lesson was interesting. Next, I have been there many times. I have been there many times. So you see, really, what tense is it? I have been there many times. So it's present perfect. It's present perfect. How do we know that it's present perfect? How do we know that? Who knows? We form this tense this way. Have or has plus past participle. Past participle. Past participle means the third form. The third. Past participle means the third form. So it's here. Been is a past participle. It's the third form. Right. So present perfect. Yeah, and you see that there is have plus past participle or the third form, so you can understand that it's present perfect. Right, but why do we use present perfect? Because we see many times, so if you use many times, so you have to use present perfect, so it's a rule. Okay, and I think it's okay if we remember some phrasal verbs. For example, be out, it's a phrasal verb. He was out. He was out. It means he wasn't at home. Next, have, had. I had a day off yesterday. It means I didn't work, I didn't go to work. We had a break. We had a great time together. You just need to remember these phrases: have a break, have a day off, have a great time. You need to remember these phrases, okay? So next, and one more example with the third form of past participle. I have never had such good friends. I have never had such good friends. Or you can also use a short form. I've never had such good friends. So what tense is it? So it's present perfect. Present perfect. Why? Why is it present perfect? Because we see have plus the third form plus past participle. I have never had such good friends. So if we have never, something happen that is true now too. That's right, now too. So we use present perfect. It's a rule. Do, did, done. I did my homework. I did it very well. She did it perfectly. We have just done it. So just tells us that we need to use present perfect. It was done on time. It was done on time. So, we have just done it. It's present perfect. So we talked about its formation. We talked about its formation, how we form this tense. But I think that you also need to have a look at the next structure. It's passive voice. It's passive voice. We form it this way: was, were, plus past participle, plus past participle, or plus the third form. We call it the third form. So it's done. It's done. Yeah? It's a past participle. Okay, so you see, it was done on time. So, it was done by someone. So we use passive voice. It was done on time. And let's remember some phrasal verbs. I think it's okay. And you know that right now we are learning English grammar. We are improving our vocabulary. And you know that these examples are quite common in English speech. So you're also improving your speaking skills and listening skills too. Because you're listening, right? You're listening to English speech. It's very good for your progress, and you can listen to this video several times. Okay, do up. We did up our room. We did up our room. It means that we did repairs. We did repairs. Maybe our room was in a bad condition, and then we did up our room. We redecorated it. And one more phrasal verb, do over. We did it over. It means we did it again. We did it again. Well, so go, went, gone. We went to the cinema. They went to the park. He has just gone out. So just tells us that we need to use present perfect. It's because of just. Get, got, got. I got a present. Really? I like getting presents. And you? He got his salary. Salary means money which you get at work. Money which you get at work. So it's called salary. He got his salary. I've just got this message. And you see a phrasal verb, get up. He hasn't got up yet. So, you know that we have present perfect because of yet. We put it at the end of the sentence. Say, said, said. I said it again. I repeated it. I said it very loudly. She has already said it. So we have present perfect because of already. Because of what's already is present perfect. We put it in the middle. And it was said yesterday. It's passive voice. Oh, sorry. It's passive voice. So I think that you know how we form it. Was, were, plus past participle was, were, plus past participle. So you see, was and said is a past participle. So it was said yesterday. So nothing difficult. Passive voice. 7. Come, came, come. He came back. She came to the meeting. She hasn't come back yet, so it's present perfect because of yet. I don't know where she is. Come across is a phrasal verb. It means meet. Come across means meet. So I have come across this word many times, or you can say I have met this word many times. So you have many times, so you have to use present perfect. Okay, so see, saw, seen. I saw her yesterday. She saw me in the park. I have never seen it before. It's present perfect because of never. See off. I saw her off. It means that I went with her to her flat or house, to the place where she lived, maybe because it was dark. Okay, so I saw her off. See someone off. And you know that I think it's a good idea for you to have a look at our playlist on phrasal verbs, and I really hope you'll enjoy it. Tell, told, told. I told her about that. She hasn't told me about that problem yet. So we have yet, so we use, present perfect. Tell off, it's a phrasal verb. He was told off, or he was criticized. Tell off means criticize. Think, thought, thought. I thought about it. I have never thought about such things. So we have never, so we use present perfect. And think over. We haven't thought it over yet. We'll make a decision a bit later. So think over means to think more thoroughly, to spend more time on thinking it. Yeah? So, yeah, we haven't thought it over yet. So we need more time to think about it. We'll make a decision a bit later. Understand, understood, understood. I understood you. I understood this lesson. I have just understood you. So it's present perfect because of just. Take, took, taken. I took her with me. She took my book. This bag was taken. So it's passive voice. It's passive voice. It means that someone took this bag. So this bag was taken by someone. Take in. He was taken in. It means that someone tricked him, someone deceived him. And take off, the plane took off. The plane took off. So the opposite verb is landed. So the plane landed, and take off is the opposite. It has the opposite meaning. So it took off, and we can see it in the sky, somewhere in the sky. Speak, spoke, spoken. We spoke English. I have just spoken to her. So it's present perfect because of just. And speak up. It means to speak more loudly. Speak up. I can't hear you at all. Speak up. I can't hear you at all. Eat, ate, eaten. We ate together. I have just eaten 2 apples. All the food was eaten. So it's passive voice was plus past participle. It's eaten. All the food was eaten. And we have this phrasal verb eat out. It means to eat not at home, maybe to eat in a public place, for example, in a cafe or in a restaurant. So you see, we often ate out, but it was a bit expensive. So you understand that it's usually cheaper to eat at home. Okay, so drink, drink, drank, drunk. I drank a glass of juice. He drank a bottle of water. I have just drunk a cup of tea. So it's present perfect because of just. Okay. So know, knew, known. I knew it. It wasn't surprising for me. We knew the answer. We have known each other for 5 years, so it's present perfect because of for. Because of for. You know that present perfect, I think this tense is quite simple. So there is a connection. There is a connection with the present. There is a connection with the present. There is a connection with the present. So we have known each other for 5 years. So it isn't a distant past. It's true now. It isn't a distant past. It's true now. Okay? It isn't a distant. It isn't a distant past. It's also true now. It's also true. It's also true. Now, it's also true now. Okay, so yes, there is connection with the present. It isn't a distant past. It's also true now. Okay, make. He made a mistake. She has just made 2 mistakes. 3 mistakes were made. So it's passive voice in past simple. And make up. So I made up this sentence. I made up this sentence. So I built this sentence. I constructed it. So it has this meaning. Okay, give, gave, given. He gave me a present. The toy was given to her. Was plus past participle. Give up. He gave up smoking. Give up means stop. You can say he gave up smoking or he stopped smoking. Put, put, put. I put it on the table. The box was put near the door. Its passive voice was plus past participle. And put on. It's a phrasal verb. He put on a warm coat. So he put it on his body. Read, read, read. I read a very interesting book. She hasn't read this story yet. I have already. Yeah, you see, it's present perfect here because of already. I have already read your message. Write, wrote, written. Okay, so I wrote a letter. She wrote a message. A very long letter was written. Write down. I wrote it down. I didn't want to forget it. Right, so for example, you see a new word, you don't know how to translate it, you don't know its meaning, and you can write it down to have it on paper so that you remember it better, Okay, so forget, forget, forgot, forgotten. I forgot it. I can't remember it and it was forgotten. Was plus past participle. It was forgotten. So past participle is the third form. They often forgot things. Their memory was awful. Hear, heard. I heard it from him. I have never heard about it. I hear it for the first time. So it's the same story here, never. So we have present perfect because of never. I heard it in the news. I heard it on the radio. You see, very useful phrases. In the news and on the radio. Right. Fall, fell, fallen. She fell down and hurt her leg. He has just fallen down. And fall out means to have a disagreement, to quarrel. So they often fell out with each other. They often quarrel with each other. They often disagree with each other. They don't agree with each other. They have some problems. Feel, felt, felt. I felt very good. He felt bad. I felt very uncomfortable. She has never felt so happy. Buy, bought, bought. I bought a new house. I bought a new flat. He has just bought a new car. Fly, flew, flown. I flew to America. He flew to Spain. He has just flown to Russia. So, as you understand, so we use present perfect because of just. Begin, began, begun. Yeah, begin. So we write it this way, be, but we pronounce it be, not be. Be. Begin, begin, began, begun. The meeting began. The lesson began, or the lesson started. So began, begin, and start are similar verbs, but begin sounds more formal. The conference has already begun. Become, became, become. He became famous. She became a teacher. She has become very popular. You see it very clearly. So there is some connection with the present. You see it very clearly. So you use present perfect. Bring, brought, brought. Bring, brought, brought. I brought it to her. The present was brought to him. So the present means it was. Was plus past participle. The present was brought to him. And bring up. I was brought up by my grandparents. It means that I was educated by them. So, or they looked after me. They helped me to become an adult. They helped me grow up. So you remember that you can say they helped me to grow up or they helped me grow up. So both variants are correct. Break, broke, broken. He broke that pen. He has just broken the window. And break down, so we often use this phrasal verb talking about cars. The car broke down. Well, so drive, drove, driven. I drove a car yesterday. She has never driven a car. She rode a bike. Pay, paid, paid. I paid for her. We paid for the tickets. You haven't paid for it yet. So you remember that if we have yet, we use present perfect and we put it at the end of the sentence. sit, sat, sat. I sat on a chair. He sat in an armchair. Please remember to sit on a chair, but to sit in an armchair. I sat down. Stand, stood, stood. He stood up. She stood behind him. Sleep, slept, slept. I slept for 9 hours. He slept in the afternoon. He slept for a very long time. Build, build, build. I built a house. The house was built yesterday. It's passive voice. Was plus past participle. Was plus built. The building hasn't been built yet. So, it's present perfect passive. So present perfect, we have present perfect because of yet, and present perfect passive because it was done by someone. So I think that you know how we form these tense: have, has, plus been, have, has, plus been, plus past participle, or plus the fourth form. Or it can be haven't or hasn't if we have a negative form. So the building hasn't been, and plus the past participle plus the third form built. The building hasn't been built yet. Find, found, found. I found my keys. I found what I wanted. He hasn't found his wallet yet. Find out. To find out more, you can visit my website. It means to know more, you can visit my website. Send, sent, sent. I sent her a message. I sent her a letter. We sent her a postcard. The message was sent to him. Was plus past participle, right? So was plus past participle, it's sent. Was sent. Spend, spent, spent. He spent $20. We spent lots of time. $20 were spent. It's passive voice, were plus past participle. Swim, swam, swam. I swam in the lake. I swam in the sea. I haven't swum in the ocean yet. So it's present perfect because of yet. Haven't or hasn't plus past participle. It's here. Next. Teach, taught, taught. She taught English. I taught Spanish. She has never taught Russian. Wake, woke, woken. I woke him up. I woke up very early in the morning. He hasn't woken up yet. Leave, left, left. He left Russia. I left Moscow. I left for America. Leave for means go to. So you can say I left for America or I went to America. Leave out means not include. Not include. So his name was left out. It means okay, so there is something wrong with my mouse, but I hope it will be okay. So it's okay. So his name wasn't included. His name wasn't included. Lose, lost, lost. He lost his wallet. He lost his mind. Lots of money was lost. So was plus past participle. Meet, met, met. I met him in the park. I met him yesterday. I have never met him before. Cut, cut, cut. He cut himself. I cut the rope. He cut his finger. And cut up. He cut up the food. It means he cut it into small pieces. Sell, sold, sold. He sold his house. The flat was sold. All the goods were sold and sell out. All the sugar was sold out. It means that it was sold completely. It was sold completely. Well, so cost, cost, cost. Sometimes it's easy to remember irregular verbs because they have the same forms. For example, put, cost, 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 let. Okay, anyway, so it cost $10. So it's about the past. It can't be about the present, because if it were about the present, so it would be costs. It costs, yeah, he, she, it. If we have he, she, it, we add s. But we have it cost, so it's about the past. So it's grammar. So it cost $10. It cost too much. It cost lots of money. Grow, grew, grown. They grew carrots. I grew vegetables in my garden. Grow up. Yeah, talking about people, we use grow up. For example, I grew up in America, I grew up in England, so it's where you spend your childhood. Okay, so ride, rode, ridden. I rode a horse yesterday. I rode a bike, and I have never ridden a camel. So please remember this phrase is ride a horse, ride a bike. It means ride a bicycle. So if we talk about a motorbike, so we say drive a motorbike, but it means ride a bicycle. Next, keep, kept, kept. I kept his secret. It means that I didn't tell other people about his secret. And we have a phrasal verb keep on. It means go on. He kept on doing it. It means he went on doing it, or he continued doing it. Well, so wear, wore, worn. I wore warm clothes yesterday. I wore glasses. She wore a very beautiful dress. Blow, blew, blown. The wind blew. The wind blew suddenly. The wind was blowing, it was raining. So we are using past continuous. So you can ask why. So what's the reason for it? When we describe some situation in the past, we often use past continuous. The wind was blowing, it was raining, we were walking to some place, and so on. Okay, so next, choose, chose, chosen. I chose the right answer. Yeah, good. He chose the wrong answer. It's terrible. I haven't chosen the most suitable variant. The most suitable variant, it means the best variant for me. Haven't chosen the most suitable variant. Okay, so what is next? Catch, caught, caught. I caught the ball. The thieves were caught. It's passive voice. So we have were because the thieves means they were, and we add past participle. So it's caught. The thieves were caught. Catch up with. I couldn't catch up with them. They were running so fast. It means that I was running after them, and I was running slowly. And so I couldn't run so fast. Next, So it's win, win, won. I won, I took the first place. We won thanks to his help. I have won in this kind of competitions many times. So it's present perfect, have won because of many times. Feed, fed, fed. I fed my cat. I fed my dog. He was fed. It means that someone fed him. Its passive voice was past participle. And let's look at this phrase fed up with. He is fed up with his homework. It means that he really hates it. Really, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it at all. Forgive, forgave, forgiven. I forgave him. He was forgiven. I have forgiven him many times. Ran, run. I ran him. It means I called him. The bell rang. Ring back or call back. I rang him back or I called him back. Let. Let's do it. Let's go there, for example, and I let him do it. It means that I told him, okay, you can do it. I let him play computer games for an hour. I told him, it's okay, you can play computer games for an hour. And let down, this phrasal verb has a negative meaning. He let me down badly, so you know that he did something bad. He did something bad. Maybe he was my friend. I expected his help, but in fact, he didn't help me. He didn't help me. Okay, so run. Run, ran, run. I ran very fast. I ran across the park. I have never run so fast. Run away. The thieves managed to run away. It means the thieves managed to escape. Sing, sang, song. She sang a very beautiful song. She sang very beautifully. That song was amazing. Draw, drew, drawn. I drew a very beautiful picture. He drew an elephant. She drew a tiger. Lie, lay, lain. He lied to her. So this phrasal verb is regular. It means he told her some information which wasn't true. Yeah, but if we're talking about lying, for example, in bed, so it's irregular. Lie, lay, lain. Look, I lay down. So maybe I lay down on the sofa. I was really tired. Yeah, he lay on the sofa. He lay on the sofa. Well, so lay, laid, laid. He laid it on the table, or he put it on the table. He laid the ladder near the wall. He put the ladder near the wall. Foresee, foresee, foresaw, foreseen. I foresaw everything. It means that I predicted everything, so I could look into the future. He foresaw these radical changes. So he thought that these radical changes would happen. Okay, so hide, hid, hidden. He hid behind the wall. He hid from her. I hid behind that building. Hurt, hurt, hurt. He hurt his leg. It hurt her feelings. She hurt her arm. Lend, lend, lend. He lent her $2,000. I lent him this sum of money. I lent him this book. Steal, stole, stolen. He stole $10,000. Oh, it's terrible. All this money was stolen, really. A very bad thing, it's a pity. He stole this information. Throw, threw, thrown. He threw a ball. She threw a toy to him. Throw away. So when you don't need it, you throw it away. It's like rubbish or garbage. She threw it away. She didn't need it. Deal, dealt, dealt. I deal with suppliers. It means that I work with suppliers. I dealt with our clients. I worked with our clients. I dealt with our customers. I worked with our customers. Maybe I solved some problems concerning them. I dealt with very difficult situations. So I had very difficult situations, but so I have this experience. Beat, beaten. They beat him very hard. He was beaten. Stick, stuck, stuck. So remember this phrase. We got stuck in a traffic jam. It means that there was a traffic jam and, we spent maybe too much time. We spent some time there, so we couldn't move fast. And stick to, it means believe, have. I stuck to that idea. It means I believed in something, or I had that idea. Hang, hung, hung. I hung it on the door. I hung it on a hook. Shine, shone, shone. The sun was shining brightly. The sun shone for an hour and then it disappeared. Shake, shook, shaken. They shook hands. He has just shaken the bottle. Shoot, shot, shot. He shot very well. He shot the bird. He was shot. Dig, dug, dug. I dug in the garden. I dug a hole. Hit, hit, hit. I hit the ball. They hit him. He was hit. Well, so rise, rose, risen. The sun rose. The sun went up. The sun rose or the sun went up. The price of oil rose sharply. It means it went up, so it became higher. Our sales rose greatly. It means they increased, so we started selling more. Retell, retold, retold. I retold that story. So I told the story to someone. He retold that book. Hold, held, held. I held it in my arms. Hold up means delay. I was held up because of a traffic jam, or I was held up in a traffic jam. So I was held up means I was delayed. So I spent some time there. It stopped me. So it stopped me. Yeah. Okay, so, and it took me longer to get to some place. Spoil, spoiled, spoiled. It spoiled everything. It spoiled our plans. The food got spoiled, or the food became spoiled. But you can also say the food spoiled, the food got spoiled. Okay, next. Bite, bit, bitten. The dog bit him. Okay, he has never been bitten by a dog. So it's present perfect passive. Present perfect passive. So it's present perfect. So why it's present perfect? Can you answer this question? I'm sure that you can. So because of never. And why do we have passive voice? Because we have by. It was done by someone or by something. So you know that we form it this way. Have, has, plus been, plus plus past participle, plus past participle. So he has never been bitten by a dog. Bend, bend, bent. He bent forwards. She bent forwards to pick up that coin, to take it. forbid, forbade, forbidden. It was forbidden. It is forbidden. Smoking is forbidden. It means that smoking is allowed. You can't smoke. Well, tear, tore, torn. He tore the book. She tore that piece of paper. Freeze, froze, frozen. The lake froze. The pond froze hard. Mean, meant, meant. It meant nothing. It meant a lot for me. I meant to help him. It means that I was going to help him. I intended to help him. Show, showed, shown. They showed their results. He showed his wealth, so he showed how rich he was. Show off, so it has a negative meaning. She often showed off. I didn't like it. So maybe she was behaving, strangely. Maybe in public she wanted, other people to notice her. She wanted other people to notice her. Shut, shut, shut. He closed the door, or he shut the door. Shut up. It sounds rude, impolite. Misunderstand, misunderstood, misunderstood. I'm afraid that you misunderstood me. It means I'm afraid that you didn't understand me correctly. Next, he misunderstood me. He didn't understand me at once. It means he didn't understand me immediately. Swear, swore, sworn. He swore in front of the children. It was disgusting. It means that he was saying bad words. He has sworn many times. He swore that he hadn't done it. It means that he promised that he hadn't done it. Or, he said it sincerely. Sweep, swept, swept. She swept the floor. I often swept the floor when I was in the country house. Sing, sank, sunk. The boat sank. The ship sank. It went under the water. Sat, sat, sat. I set it near my computer. Set up. He set up his own company. He founded his own company, so he started up his own business. Set off. They set off very early. It means they went on a trip very early. They went on a journey very early. Withdraw, withdrew, withdrawn. It means take back. He withdrew all his money, so he took all his money from his bank account. I withdrew just $500. I didn't need more. Overcome, overcame, overcome. I overcame all the difficulties. She has overcome all the difficult things. All the difficult, yeah? You see, all the difficult things may be on her way. Yes, on her way. On her way. Oh, my typing skills are terrible. Please forgive me. Okay, so she has overcome all the difficult things on her way. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed this lesson, and thanks a lot for your support. I really like to thank you for your attention, for your support. I really need it, and it's very important for our channel. So really, let's make it better together. Okay, thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye. Interesting. The lesson was interesting. So you see, the lesson means it, and we know that it was. So the lesson was interesting. Next, I have been there many times. I have been there many times. So you see, really, what tense is it? I have been there many times. So it's present perfect. It's present perfect. How do we know that it's present perfect? How do we know that? Who knows? we form this tense this way: have or has plus past participle. Past participle. Past participle means the third form. The third. Past participle means the third form. So it's here. Been is a past participle. It's the third form. Right. So present perfect. Yeah, and you see that there is have plus past participle or the third form, so you can understand that it's present perfect. Right, but why do we use present perfect? Because we see many times, so if you use many times, so you have to use present perfect, so it's a rule. Okay, and you know, I think it's okay if we remember some phrasal verbs. For example, be out, it's a phrasal verb. He was out. He was. It was done on time. It was done on time. So, you know, we have just done it. It's present perfect. So we talked about its formation. We talked about its formation, how we form this tense. But I think that you also need to have a look at the next structure. It's passive voice. It's passive voice. We form it this way: was, were plus past participle or plus the third form. We call it the third form. So it's done. It's done. Yeah? It's a past participle. Okay, so you see it was done on time. So it was done by someone. So we use passive voice. It was done on time. And let's remember some phrasal verbs. I think it's okay. And you know that right now we are learning English grammar. We are improving our vocabulary. And you know that these examples are quite common in English speech. So you're also improving your speaking skills and listening skills too. You know, because you're listening, right? You're listening to English speech. It's very good for progress, and you can listen to this video several times. Okay, do up. We did up our room. We did up our room. It means that we did repairs. We did repairs. Maybe our room was in a bad condition, and then we did out. It means he wasn't at home. Next, have, had. I had a day off yesterday. It means I didn't work, I didn't go to work. We had a break. We had a great time together. You just need to remember these phrases: have a break, have a day off, have a great time. Yeah, you need to remember these phrases, okay? So next, and one more example with the third form or past participle: I have never had such good friends. I have never had such good friends. Or you can also use a short form: I've never had such good friends. So what tense is it? So it's present perfect. Present perfect. Why? Why is it present perfect? Because we see have plus the third form plus past participle. I have never had such good friends. So if we have never, something happen that is true, now too, that's right, now too, so we use present perfect. It's a rule. Do, did, done. I did my homework. I did it very well. She did it perfectly. We have just done it. So just tells us that we need to use present perfect. Up. We did up our room. We redecorated it. And one more phrasal verb. do over. We did it over. It means we did it again. We did it again. Well, so go, went, gone. We went to the cinema. They went to the park. He has just gone out. So just tells us that we need to use present perfect. That we need to use present perfect. It's because of just. Get, got, got. I got a present, really. I like getting presents, and you? He got his salary. Salary means money which you get at work. Money which you get at work. Which you get at work. So it's called salary. He got his salary. I've just got this message, and you see a phrasal verb get up. He hasn't got up yet. So, you know that we have present perfect because of yet. We put it at the end of the sentence. Say, said, said. Hi, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and let's learn 100 irregular verbs with examples. I think it's very important to look at different examples. It's very good for progress. So let's do it. Okay, so really I prepared, this list of most common irregular verbs especially for you. So welcome. Be, was, were, been. So you see the verb, then you see the second form, so we use it in past simple, and then you see the third form. So you'll see different examples with the second form and with the third form too. Okay, be, was, were, been. And I think that you have a question, so when do we use was and when do we use were? So we use was with I, he, she, it. Look, I was at home. He was at home. She was at home. It was at home. How do we call this tense? We call it past simple tense. Past simple tense. Right. So when do we use were? With we, you, they. We were at home. You were at home. They were at home. Next. It was interesting. The lesson was